Hey everyone, it's Mel from SMIC. I'm coming to you from my office today. I think the last one I did was from my kitchen, so this is an upgrade. And I just wanted to let everyone know how I got started in this business, why I got started in the business, and what I've been doing ever since. I sort of started my story not long ago when I got together with a business coach, and I have already had the salon for 8 years, but I thought I'd let you know why I actually bought it in the first place and what got me into it in the first place. So years and years and years ago, I learned how to do nails and loved it. Just like, oh my God, I lived and breathed nails. I think I drove my husband nuts for the first couple of years because all I'd talk about was nails. Everything about it was nails. Nails. Anyway, so I built a couple of salons at home. Like, first of all, we filled in my carport, and then we built this like freestanding place out the back, so that I could work and have a bit more space and do a bit of waxing and that sort of stuff. It was a bit more private. So like, it was all working really well, and I worked pretty hard, and I had really, really good clientele. They were nice and regular, and everyone was booked in, and I really thought, and I laugh now, because I really thought I was working really hard. I used to do quite a lot of hours, and I just did nails, and that was fine with me because, you know, I loved it. Like, it was super cool. But then I sort of started running out of hours in the day, and I was sort of thinking to myself, oh, you know, maybe if I bought a commercial salon, then I would be able to work a little bit less. And I might not have to spend so much time, you know, actually doing that sort of stuff, because I honestly thought I worked really hard. And I laugh about that now because, my God, I didn't work that hard at all. But I'll fill you in on that. Like, so originally I started out and I was like, right, I'm going to buy a salon. I was super excited about it. It was all very new and very brand new and shiny and exciting and that sort of stuff. And so I wanted to get into it so that I could work a little less and have some time with my kids and do all of that sort of stuff. And, you know, I was going to work for myself, and so I could take time off when I wanted to, and all these fantastic ideas that really clearly did not end up the way I thought they were going to. So initially, I'll tell you a bit of a story. So initially I was going to go into buying this salon as a partnership, and because I don't do hair and I'm buying a hair salon. So a girlfriend of mine, and I won't say who she was, but I'm sure if she ever sees this, she would definitely know who she was. She and I were going to buy the salon. We were going to go halves in it, and I was going to do nails and she was going to do hair. And the actual purchase of the salon was not without its complications, and some of the things started getting a little bit hard, and we were starting to think, like, you know, is this dodgy? I'm not quite sure, and all the rest of it. Like, we had all these reservations and that sort of stuff, and unfortunately my girlfriend pulled out. And I reckon it turned out she probably pulled out maybe a week before I actually purchased the salon. And I remember my husband just going, what are you planning on doing? Like, without a hairdresser, what are you going to do buying a hair salon? Like, Mel, you're not a hairdresser. And I was like, no, it's going to be fine, because I was pumped and I was really excited about it and that sort of stuff. So we finally purchased the salon. And, you know, it was tricky because, you know, I had to come up with extra money because this friend of mine was going to be going halves. And so came up with the extra money, and I got all the paperwork signed, and I was super pumped and so excited, and I thought, yes, like, I've done it. I was so stoked. And then I came in on my very first day, and we had 2 haircuts booked for the whole week. I'd employed a hairdresser, and she was going to be here, I think it was 3 days a week to start with. And I had 2 haircuts booked in. So I was like, best I do something fantastic to make sure she gets paid. And so therefore started my journey on the hunting down of clients. Like everywhere I went, I was trying to convince people to come into the salon and that sort of stuff. And because I was so pumped and excited and I was so like keen for it all, we actually did manage to get quite a few clients in. And the lady that I had working for me was a previous owner of the salon, which helped immensely. So many people found out that she was back in the salon, and that made it a whole heap easier. So that was good choice by me on that one. I can't say I really planned it. I just needed some help, and she was somebody that I could ask and trust and know. So it just panned out well, and I was pretty lucky that it did actually. But I remember thinking when we came in, oh no, it'll only take a couple of months and we'll build this up and we'll have so many clients and I won't have to work as hard and that sort of stuff. And that I'll be making heaps of money and everything will be fine, you know, like I do. But it so wasn't like that. Not at all. It was probably 6 months into it where I started feeling really down because it was nothing like that. People did not flood in. They were not as excited as what I was. Not even a little bit. And my excitement started to wane. Definitely. It started to become hard work. So the reality of it was that I was now working more hours because I had all these bills to pay and people to pay and not enough clients coming in to do that. And I was just absolutely amazed. I was like, why wouldn't people want to come in? This is fantastic. Like, it's so good and people don't come. I don't understand. But anyway, in any case, I then had to make the money to actually make sure people got paid. So I ended up working more hours. I worried about more things. I was constantly stressed about money all the time. But I think every business owners kind of like that. You're always keeping an eye on your figures and it's just part of the job. And it started becoming really hard for me to manage home and the kids and the business and social things and that sort of stuff. I almost became completely anti-social because of it, because I was just working all the time. And my friends started sort of saying to me, yeah, no, that's okay. We understand because, you know, you got to go to work and that sort of stuff. And I always felt really bad about it. But there was nothing I could do about it. So I ended up working hard. And I mean hard. I ended up probably working 10 hours a week more than what I did at home. And then, of course, I was always working from home and I did all of those things that I now see as a massive waste of time. But I used to walk around a lot, dropping a lot of things in people's letterboxes. Vistaprint was my friend. I printed so much stuff and dropped it in letterboxes, and then I couldn't understand why people would actually say to me, is there a salon there? I was like, oh my God, I've put 100 things in your letterbox. How do you not know? But the reality of it is that business just isn't like that. Nobody's excited about it as you are, like, because it's yours, it's your baby, it's what you're building. So it's taught me some huge lessons. I have been taught to be a whole heap more patient. Let's face it, it did not take 6 months to get this place going. Here we are 8 years later and I am still working harder than ever to implement new things and new marketing and new ways of doing things. And it is something that is not going to change. That is something that is going to have to continue for the entire time that I run this business. There's no way of getting around it. You have to evolve, you have to do things, and you just have to get on with it and learn as you go. It has taught me to live in the moment because it can be really overwhelming and you can get really stressed and you can be way out of your mind, insanely stressed. But the little things still count, people. There's still so much stuff to be happy about. It has really, honestly, made me live in the moment. I pay 100% attention to my client at the time that I'm with my client, and I get all of the feedback and all of their stories and all of their fun and that sort of stuff. And I mean, I've always got my own freaky stories to tell, let me tell you. I'm going to be sharing a fair few more of them fairly soon. So it's also managed... It's managed to teach me how to really manage my time. I spend very quality time at home. That may be not always the case. I try to spend very quality time at home. I manage to get my work done at work as much as I possibly can. You know, and even just the behind the scenes things, the paperwork, that sort of stuff. I lock myself in my office here and everyone leaves me alone and I get my stuff done. So that's definitely something that takes a little bit of getting used to, because it's easy to get distracted. And it's also taught me that you can work really hard and you don't even die. Like, I've worked harder in the last probably 4 weeks than I have in my whole entire career and life and whatever. And I'm not dead. I'm not even freaking out about it anymore. Like, every time I like shift it up a step, I realize I can boot it up just one more step. So, and the one thing I've definitely learned is everything takes like 10 times more than what you think it is. 10 times more time, 10 times more effort, 10 times more money. It just, everything takes 10 times longer than what you want. So my advice, if you're starting your business, be really patient. Allow a heap more time than what you think it's going to take, and take the time to look after yourself. Take some time for yourself. Schedule it in if you have to, but make sure you do it, because you are in for one hell of a ride and it's not going to stop. I'll leave you with that, and until next time, take care of yourselves, people, and I'll see you real soon.